Hi, welcome back to Maths Learning Groups. Now today we are going to look at P6 SM question, which is SA1 SCGS 2019. So we're going to look at this question and we're going to break it down. But before we can break it down, we will need to think about the method that we can use. So is there any particular method that we can use to break down this problem? So we have to look out for keywords. Okay, so let's read the question. So Benedict and Kelvin, right, each have some money. If Benedict spends $36 and Kelvin spends $12 daily, Kelvin will have $260 left after Benedict spent all his money. If Kelvin spends $36 and Benedict spends $12 daily, right? Okay, so what happened is there's a keyword there, right? There's a keyword, and that is very important, which you will see later. Kelvin will have $20 left after Benedict spent all his money. So how much do they have respectively? Alright, so what is the method here when you see keywords? One of the things that we look out for is when you see the word daily or weekly or every month, there's something fixed. So which means that if Benedict spent $36, right, $36, and Kelvin spent $12 daily, so it's something fixed. So what's the method we think about? Ratio. We use ratio to represent something that is fixed and constant. So how do we do that? Alright, so Benedict and Kelvin, so both of them spend $36 and $12 respectively. So when you have ratio, you will need to simplify the ratio. You divide by 12 and divide by 12. So the ratio is 3:1. And what does that mean? It means that Benedict spends 3 units of money regardless of how many days, right? We don't know how many days later, but Benedict will always spend 3 units of money, and Kelvin will always spend 1 unit. Okay, 1 unit of money no matter how many days later. So this ratio represents the fixed amounts of money that they spend. Okay, so how do we draw the model? Okay, this is how we draw the model. So in the first sentence, we don't know how to draw. And by the way, model drawing comes together with this method, right? So model is actually it's like a method that can be used with a lot of other things. So if I want to use ratio method, I can also have ratio inside my model, which you will see later. So if Benedict spent $36 and Kelvin spent $12 daily, Kelvin will have $260 left after Benedict spent all his money. So which means that Benedict must have spent all his money, which is 3 units, right? And Kelvin, right? Kelvin will what? Kelvin will have $260 left, right? After Benedict spent all his money. So Kelvin must have spent 1 unit. So does the question tell me whether who has more money at first? We are not sure. So we can assume. Okay, we can just anyhow draw. So Kelvin must have spent 1 unit, right? And then he will have $260 left. Okay, so $260 left, something like that. Okay, so this is the left, and this is the spend, right? And then Benedict spent all his money. Benedict will have spent all his money. Okay, so let's double check to make sure that our model is correct. So if Benedict spent $36, right, $36, which is 3 units, right, 3 units after some time, and Kelvin will have $260 left after Benedict has spent all his money. So which means that Kelvin must have spent 1 unit, alright, which is $12 daily, and that is 1 unit. Okay, so next sentence. If Kelvin spent $36 and Benedict spent $12 daily, so there is another something that's fixed. So we have a second ratio to represent something that's fixed over here. So Kelvin spent 36 and Benedict spent 12. So the ratio now is 1:3, which is the simplest form. Okay, and we're going to use that to draw your model. Alright, the second model. So if Kelvin spent 36 or 3 units, and Benedict spent $12 or 1 unit, Kelvin will have $20 left. Okay, so let me just put down. Kelvin will have $20 left, so this will be $20 left, and Kelvin will have spent how many units? We can't call units already. We have to call parts. So lesson here, you will have to use parts and units. Okay, why you can't use parts for everything? Or why you can't use units for everything? Because they are talking about 2 different ratios. Okay, so it means that Kelvin spent 3 parts. Right, Kelvin will have spent 3 parts, and then he will have $20 left. And Benedict will have spent all his money, which is same length as above, same rectangle as above, and that will be one part. Okay, all right. So let's double check. So if Kelvin spent $36 or three parts, and Benedict spent $12 daily, which is one part. Okay, one part. Kelvin will have $20 left after Benedict has spent all his money. Okay, so this is spent, right? Benedict spent all his money. So how much do they have respectively? Okay, so question mark. So where do we put the question mark? Now, if you have no space to put the question mark, then you can always be creative, right? Just put like that. Just put at the side if you have no space. All right, the model is done already. So what do we do? Very simple. You compare the two models, right? And you can see that, or you compare the same person, Benedict. There is one part which is the same as 3 unit. So you compare the same person. So one part is 3 unit. And if one part is 3 unit, then three parts will be 9 units. And you just put inside the model. And now you compare Kelvin. Alright, just now you compare Benedict, now you compare Kelvin. And you can see that Kelvin has 1 unit and 260, which is also the same as, look at the model below, which is also Kelvin. That will be equal to 9 unit plus 20, right? So 9 unit plus 20. Okay, so let's put down something like this. So 1 unit plus 260 is the same or equal to 9 unit plus $20. And how do you continue from here? You take out 1 unit, means you minus. Okay, take out means minus 1 unit. 9 unit, take out 1 unit, that will be 8 units left. $20 take out on the right side, and here also take out $20. That will be $240. So which means that your 8 units is 240. So your 1 unit must be 240 and divide by 8. Okay, so let's put down 240 divide by 8. So your 1 unit must be $30. So how much do they have respectively? Okay, then we can solve already. So Benedict must have 3 unit, which is 30 times 3. So that will be 90. So Benedict has $90. And how about Kelvin? Kelvin will be 1 unit plus 260. So Kelvin is 1 unit plus $260. So Kelvin has $290, which is over here. Right, so that will be 290, and you solve the problem, right? Okay, so you have Benedict. Okay, Benedict, which is okay, B for Benedict, which is 90, and then Kelvin will be $290, and that's how you use ratio to solve. Okay, so how do we solve this problem? We have to look out for keywords. So when you see keywords like daily, weekly, monthly, then you know that something is fixed. And when something is fixed, then what do? Then we will have to use ratio to represent something that's fixed. And of course, model drawing is the main method. So we can have ratio working together with model to break down the problem. And of course, in this model, you can see that there's something called parts and units model. So there's quite a lot of things over here. So when you draw a model, you can also have parts and units model. So when do you have parts and units model? When you have two different ratios, all right, they represent, there are two different ratios, so you cannot call them all units. You have to call them parts and units. So your model will have parts and units as well, right? And then from the model, what do you do next? You look at the model and then use the model to work out your steps or your statements, and that's what we have done, and that's how we solve this problem. All right, so we come to the end of this question 17 SEGS SA1. So hopefully at the end of this short lesson, you have an idea, all right, to look out for keywords, especially when you see daily, weekly, or something that is fixed. All right, something about the problem that tells you is fixed. Then the method that you should use is ratio. Okay, so see you in the next lesson.